Hi, I'm Pox.
I'm Couchguy.
I'm Railman.
You're watching the Two Smart Guys show with special guest Railman.
You've been in the forums during our Justin TV live broadcast. You've probably talked to Railman, and we've probably talked to Railman probably, I don't know, a year and a half now.
Yeah, on the live chat, Justin TV.
On the live chat. So it's good to have Railman joining us for the show tonight, because tonight's show is about viewers.
Yes. Viewer mail or comments or just general questions people have been asking us.
Well, and, honestly, we sometimes have a hard time focusing what we do shows on, especially for our longer version of shows, because, like, we did a series on the NAS box, and I'm pretty confident that Railman could care less about the NAS box.
Although the NAS box series is our most viewed series.
It is a really, really popular one. So, but Railman is probably our most avid live watcher at this point. There's him and some other people who've come in recently, but he's the longest that I can remember. That's been in the chat and been kind of there. Not the longest when it comes to
Genesis. I always get confused.
Genesis. But in terms of YouTube watchers and everybody who watches this after we get done, not after the live show, we have other viewers who are very loud otherwise.
So if you're not aware, we have a live show every Wednesday night, 10:30 Mountain Time.
If you didn't know,
8:30 Mountain Time.
So twosmartguys.com/live, and you can see it. So I guess we could start out saying, Railman, it's your floor. Where the mic is open. What would you like to see shows about more often?
Pretty much anything technology. I mean, it's just my perspective. I love the PSP. Anything, like, if y'all ever want to go back to it, then I'll definitely go dig my PSP out the drawer and start hacking with it again. Love that. If you could find something else, like, bringing back to the PS3 or the Nintendo Wii, if there's any other hacks you can bring back with that, something to refresh. I mean, I know there really hasn't been much on the scene since, like, all that legal issues and stuff they had, and they probably closed a lot of that stuff off. But I don't know, just don't forget about the iPhone. I know it's not really much going on with the iPhone right now, but just trying to stay up to date with just about everything.
Well, and I think that's one of the hardest things we run into is there hasn't been a lot on PSP. There hasn't been a lot on PS3 at all. There definitely hasn't been much that I know of. I don't keep up on the iPhone stuff. What about you, Pox?
Basically, there's been some things, but there hasn't been.
They're minor.
Usually, there's like a killer app. There's something that's cool that's been jailbroken. That's be like, you know what? I just gotta jailbreak my phone for that. And I don't know. There hasn't been really an app like that in a while. I don't think that I know of. I don't know. Railman, you're saying is a cool cleaner. That speeds it up a bit.
But it's you're talking about something that's like something really hyper looking for functionality out of your device. That's that doesn't come out probably but once a year as a big thing for a device. And there's been nothing really big for the Vita coming out yet.
Well, the Vita actually did release a homebrew loader for the Vita. But it required that you download a certain game, so it was like an exploit in a downloaded PSP game that would allow you to run the homebrew loader on the Vita. But they closed that sucker up fast.
Yeah.
They took the games off the market as soon as people announced it, so you couldn't buy them or get them anymore. And then they updated the firmware on it, and you had to update the firmware to be able to access the network. It is very tied to being online, so...
I tell you what, Sony has some really, they're learning their stuff fast.
I blinked and missed the whole thing. I read about it after it happened. I was like, crap. I bought the Vita for this, and I missed it.
And the thing is, if we find out about a hack that's already been closed, it's pointless for us to, start talking about it. Because if the loophole's been closed, it wasn't like back with PS3, we caught that one, as it was happening, and... we were telling people don't update. 3.5 is where you need to stay at. If you go any higher than that, you're done. We were able to at least warn people, that this hack is coming out. Stop.
Because it happened within 1 or 2 weeks. And
is the hack similar to the way it used to be with the PSP when they had I think it was the Grand Theft Auto hack when you just run a game and then run a save data?
Yeah, it was an exploit through the game, data somewhere in there.
The good news is their other games, but the developers of the homebrew loader are not announcing it.
Yeah, it's gonna be one of those things that it's gonna happen. But the problem is because of the nature of downloaded games and the way that Sony restricts access to online play, it's really, really easy for Sony to be proactive and attack a hack like that. If it's not a hardware hack, if it's an exploit hack and they're playing like that, it's really easy for them to shut it down. So
I just wanted to read off a couple of funny comments.
I don't want to hear any more funny comments. Everyone always complains about my signal and everything.
But it's so awesome.
Yeah, I'm sure it's awesome for you.
This guy RCCZZ says, if I had a nickel for every pixel in Couchguy's video, then I'd have a quarter.
Yeah. I tell you what, I'll take donations.
You know what? I said that. I said we should start up a donation account for you.
Because if you could find someone to supply we'll say $70 a month, I'll go out and I'll get a secondary internet connection for this house. Happy to, but I can't
We
find
can
it right
start
now.
donations right now for smashing his laptop.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, by the way,
I'm very tempted to get the Smash and the Acer.
I picked one up for $40, so I have one too now.
What'd you pick up?
Well, my coworker, he got one for $20. He got it for $20, and he can't run Diablo 2 on it, so he's selling it to me for $40.
Oh, well, that's nice.
Well,
Where'd he pick it up at?
From a friend of his that needed gas money.
Oh, well, see, that's not the same. I bought
You
mine.
want to know what's worth smashing? This. Do
What is
not
that?
do not buy this.
Asus?
Your Transformer?
Yes,
Really?
it is the biggest waste of money
Oh.
ever.
What did it come with? Did it come with the Windows?
It came with. No, it's not Windows. It was some operating system that was before Ice Cream Sandwich, and then updated it to Ice Cream Sandwich.
Oh, well, that's probably the mistake. Ice cream sandwich is a little beefier.
It really makes me mad more than it helps me.
Well, that was supposed to be like the de facto tablet. That was like a quad core, right? It was the Transformer. It was like supposed to be the beefiest Android one out.
I mean, when I got it, it was on like a Black Friday special, and then like they already had the Prime out, but the Prime was like really expensive.
Oh, okay. So this is the one before the Prime then.
Yeah, this is a Transformer, whatever. But I mean, pretty much if you have this is pretty much a toy. Like if you want to watch videos, play Angry Birds on it, and other stuff like that, it's perfect. But as far as educational use, like using it for classes, crashes all the time.
Well, how much did you spend on it?
I think with the warranty, the keyboard, and about 600. I think 600. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I would find something. See, that's where I pucker. I don't. If I get over $100 on some of these things when I have something I just want to play with, yeah, if it's not proven, I don't like playing around with them.
Anyway,
I just really wanted like a tablet, so.
back to some of the viewer feedback on like last.
Oh, great!
week's
Let's have the
episode.
next complaint about Couch
It's not
Guy.
a complaint. It's an agreement. It was unanimous that nobody liked the Avatars movies.
Yeah, well, I have no
James
problem with
Cameron
James
or-
Cameron's.
Or
I think that James Cameron's just kind of on doing like number 2, but as far as the Airbender, bad movie. Whoever lets that man make movies needs to be shot.
And then
Hey, Mia, you want to come in here? Come here, baby.
we had a question on the free NAS. COSA Rip. He made a comment. And he was saying that it's a good tutorial and that he wants step-by-step on FreeNAS 8.2 on how to make plugins like Transmission and iTunes Server. Have you looked into 8.2 at all?
Honestly, I haven't had time to. I guess I need to because I need to look and see what it's available. You like rubbing your tummy? But I haven't looked into it, and I need to because it was beta for a while, and I have a functioning NAS box right now that I'm using. It's not just sitting idle, so I use it all the time. So I don't want to break it to begin with for a beta. But but I do need to look into it because I do want the UPnP server. I do, having the transmission and stuff like that on there would be nice. Because that's one thing that I dislike the most is currently I have a Google TV. And in order to make Google TV function, I have a Google TV and I have the Western Digital box. And I have a computer that has a boxy box built in it, but I'm not using that anymore. The Western Digital box can take anything and can log onto my network. But Google TV, like all Sony products, wants a UPnP server. So whether it be PlayStation 3 or the Google TV or other things, the UPnP server I have to have on a secondary machine running. So I end up having 3 machines running to do one thing. And I don't like that. Yeah. So I would rather have my NAS box on, which is on all the time anyway. And then, using whatever device I want, I could still connect via network, or I could use a UPnP server. It's still talking to the NAS box. So.
Then the other comments we had were on the Linux episode. There's a lot of strong feelings.
I am not even a fan of commenting on that. I have to tell you, when you have that, I told Pox and I talked about this ahead of time. One of the reasons why in the live show we talked about this a little bit. It didn't make it into the what you saw on YouTube. I am really hesitant to get into Linux on this show. Oh. I think it's important, and I think we have a lot of requests for it, but because people get so bent out of shape when their version of Linux isn't talked about, or what they think is the most special, greatest, mostest, bestest, hyper awesomeness. Yeah,
it's kind of cool. There was a lot of comments, but there's some people.
Well, yeah, you'll have a lot of comments about anything. The minute you do a tutorial, you'll get torn apart. No, I'm saying anything Linux, you'll get lots of things because people are hungry trying to find the stuff. So yeah, I'm a huge advocate for Ubuntu just because it is a more user friendly, in my opinion, version of Linux. But yeah, you start talking about Red Hat. Red Hat is a purchased software. It's a version that is purchased. It's a server-based thing, completely different than the free version. Mint. I haven't played with Mint. I can't speak to Mint. So there's a whole bunch of different ones.
So there's a couple questions that I asked on the show that were answered, and one of those was, what the heck does GIMP stand for? I thought it was like Graphic Image Manipulation Program. It's the GNU Image Manipulation Program, and GNU Linux, which is Mint apparently.
Yeah.
And they're claiming that Mint is like the biggest distro, which is crazy.
Well, and it could
they say
be.
It's good.
And the thing is that in the video, if people actually listen and don't get freaked out, I preface all that with I'm not positive, because right now Ubuntu says they are, and they've got numbers of downloads to prove it. Now there's no guarantee that Mint doesn't say the same thing.
Oh, and Mac is based on BSD, free BSD.
No, Mac is based on Unix.
No.
I will fight you on that one. Because guess what FreeBSD is based off of?
Well, Unix, but...
Unix. So, ergo, all of them are based off of Unix.
Yeah, but anyways.
I was not incorrect on my statement. That is a very, very factual statement. And they can suck it.
They weren't complaining. I just asked, and that's what it is based on.
It is all based off of Unix. Because if I can use Unix coding, it's still Unix.
Anyways,
ding ding.
Anything you wanted to add, Railman, before we wrap this up? I think this is about our time limit.
This is him getting sick of me talking about things.
I'm trying to keep the shows around 10, 15 minutes, and we're already at the 15-minute mark.
Well, here's the thing. We people to start, we've asked about this stuff, and we've talked about things. Linux shows, we're getting into that. I'm going to try and do a touchpad show, because it looks like we might have ice cream sandwich coming out for our hack touchpads. So that's been out for a little while. Yeah. Railman, you should do something with your transformer. Make it a robot in disguise. But I've downloaded CM9. I've played around with it. I'm going to make sure I get how to uninstall what we've got, install what we want to put on there, and make it function. I've heard it's very, very nice. I've seen it. It looks very clean. So that's going to come in the works here soon. But other than that, I'm a big geek for cameras and, broadcast stuff, because that's what I do. You know, Pox is, man, Microsoft cert man down there.
Yeah, I was thinking about talking about VMs because I've been studying up on that, and that's what Couchguy is doing right now at this moment. He's moving. One of his VM machines died, so he's fixing it.
Couchguy, you mean Raggable?
Raggable, that's what he's doing. He's working on virtual machine hosts and moving them around, and I'm learning about it and trying to implement it at my work. And
yeah, Raggable's the man when it comes to VMs. I am not the man when it comes to VMs.
Yeah, this weekend I was running a hypervisor that was running a VM of Windows Server that I was trying to get to run another VM inside of that, and it was just crazy. It was like 4 or 5 layers deep.
And that might, you know, some of our tutorials, that's some of the best ways to do it, is you do a VM and you test out a piece of software and you play around with it. So it's nice to talk about VMs and how to just build one so that it works, you know.
So yeah, so in the comments below, say what you guys want. Do you want a show on like on virtual machines 101, more on FreeNAS, camera sensors, the touchpad, PSP? If there's anything new that you've heard of on the PS3 front.
Yeah. Come up with something that's like with something new that you've heard about on that stuff, because it's difficult. There's been a lot of stuff that's been done and a lot of stuff that just doesn't work anymore.
Oh, and then one last correction for last week's episode. When we made those glasses, when you take them out, do not flip the lens like I did in the show. That does not work. I had to take them out and flip them back.
They have to stay the same because the way that they stripe is either this way or this way.
Yeah, no, but not that kind of flipping. Just like the front and back.
Yeah, well, they should be angled a certain direction. That's what I'm saying. Like they change depending which way you're on.
Yeah, so I got the TV in. I tried it. It works. And the cool thing about the LG's Dual Play, it'll work on any game that is split screen.
Really?
Yeah. Menus.
No, that's helpful.
Menus, not so much.
Oh, really? You gotta take the glasses off for the menus?
Yeah, well, yeah, you gotta take the glasses off and turn off the thing, or you know, yeah. Because like I was playing Mario, we were playing Mario Kart, and it works pretty good. The stretching is a little bit funky, like the aspect ratio is a little bit off, but for the most part, it worked really good, except for bright whites. You had to like actually turn down the backlight a little bit, because then you'd start to see
the Wii, or that was with the
Wii and the PS3. You'd start to see ghosting of the other person's image of the really bright stuff. So if you turn it down, it worked pretty good.
That's cheating. So that means that during like first-person shooters, you'd be able to see the flash of somebody else shooting. You know.
Yeah. Well, like I said, you can correct it. You just gotta.
Who would want to?
Yeah.
I completely missed that episode. Do you need a 3D TV to do this?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a 3D TV. And it's a special 3D TV. It's not just a 3D TV, it's a special one.
It has to be an LG Cinema TV. The new line that came out this year.
The Sony TV, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Does the Sony TV work with it?
The Sony TV only works with games that support.
Oh, that's
dual
right,
play.
because they have active glasses, don't they?
Yeah. So the game has to support it.
Gotcha. So one TV, it's a really limited, reason, but
yeah, it's kind of cool.
Guess you bought one.
Do one TV, 2 full screens for 2 people in 2D. Yeah. Anyways, thanks everybody for watching this long, crazy show.
It's not that long. We've been much longer in the past. We like long shows. I like long shows.
I don't. I have to edit them and post them.
PSP mod ship.
Oh yeah,
anyway.
PSP mod show is half-hour long.
Yeah.
We've done a lot of half-hour shows since then, where we're talking.
Yeah, you just get me and Irregular chatting about something.
The problem is we sit down. We used to do the show standing up. Much shorter shows.
Oh, that would be much shorter. Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
This has been the Two Smart Guys production.